Well, on that particular day of the lunar eclipse, unfortunately, where it was occurring with regards to our basically our sky and where our windows are located, we really couldn't see it from the space station. Plus, it was in the middle of the night, so those two reasons why we didn't see it. But in general, the moon and the Earth and the stars are very, very beautiful to see from here, and it's something we enjoy looking at, certainly.
Astronauts aren't trained how to swallow their saliva in space?
There it is. Check it out, guys. That is so exciting. Incredible.
Hello my friends, I'm Kyle Thompson. This is Research Flat Earth. And as always, welcome back.
Very, very beautiful to see from here, and it's something we enjoy looking at, certainly.
Hi, everybody. You can see I am going to interrupt a regular series and go to the Salina Trda salt mine in Romania because you got to see this. And you don't believe in giants, some of you people? You don't believe that there was a 1,000-year reign of Christ where people, could do this kind of thing? Wait till you see this. This is just an abandoned salt mine. They don't use it anymore. So I've got this, the image search on a super high resolution. So it'll take a second to load, but you see they've just, there's a net. And they just put lights all over it because they've got like a Chuck E. Cheese or something going down there at the bottom. I'll show you. Wow, that's pretty good, huh? That'll give you a little scale to the size of what we're looking at here. Pretty big. That looks like it goes up pretty far there too. Anything like tool marks? They must have been some pretty nifty salt gatherers, right? They're getting that salt just... I don't see the salt myself. Let's look at another picture. Chuck E. Cheese. Right there. Chuck E. Cheese. Right? Something the Giants made. Or the Mighty Men, whoever. But look at that. If obviously this was some sort of a, you know, circular thing that was already there, they built these cheap ass ski balls, put some pictures up. People pay to go in there. I mean, I'd take the elevator. It looks like it's a pretty good staircase. Look at those tool marks on the ceiling right up here. It's all tool marked. You know, well, I guess it's a salt mine. Pretty big. You haven't seen nothing yet. Not in this place. What's that? That's their wagon. So they hauled the salt out. Okay. Sure. Nice fuzzy picture with big machine tool marks to get salt. Heavy tracks to carry 1/8 of a. Those tracks could carry a lot more than whatever that could carry. I'm telling you that. That's what I'm trying to say. How about some pictures of, like, let's just say that one I showed you, that wasn't very big. Let's get a big one. Where is that one I wanted to show you? Then well, this is a Prade salt mine. So this is this is inside the Salina. Wow, is it big? Oh, I hate Pinterest. I hate it. Well, anyway, you can see there's the people. Machinery all around. Picnic benches. Just find an old artifact and turn it into a little tourist thing. Looks like a fuzzy picture. Let's see what some of the reconstruction was after they found it and tried to be like, should we put some salt in it? If not, that's the original construction, and wood's not supposed to last that long. And there is some salt in there, that is for sure. Man. Maybe that preserved the wood. Wouldn't preserve it forever, I don't think. That looks pretty cool. Chuck E. Cheese in the salt mine. That's a wood. And that's been there a long time. Not millions of years, but you should be able to get a pretty good read on it. Did I just see? Hey, come on. Wake up. Stick with me here. We're going to Lake Erie salt mine. That's how you do it. That's in Poland. That's how we do it. Funking around. That's not copper. Or that is copper. Hey, anybody want some salt water? We got plenty of it by our Salt Lake. Live research, people. Stick with and follow a curious mind. Abandoned win. Who built that and would leave it? Oh, you know what? Remember when we first were learning and we didn't know diddly squat? And we were doing the forensic on these stones? Where would you put this? Well, the textbooks would say that this is the same construction as the Erie Canal. So from 1815 to 1850. The entrances, anyway. Let's look at some more. Go back to that tower in a minute. What's that? Got an abandoned gold mine? We're just going to abandon it. That's a pretty... how did I get such a low quality picture here? I gotta get this guy here. Nice fence. Abandoned gold mine in Tennessee, folks. Because of all the gold miners that I've ever pictured in my mind from Tennessee, which not that many, very few, until I just said gold miners from Tennessee, and they abandoned this because they were just too tired after building this to dig for gold. They're like, hey, do you know how hard it would be to get those steps out like that? That means that they're in probably, equal amount than built around it. That's pretty good. Who knows how deep this goes? I'm sure it didn't have to crawl into it when it was built, but yeah. That's more proof of the people that built the pyramids, the roads, the effigy mounds, what they call the slave rock walls all over New England, a 250,000 miles, and then things like this. If this would have been closer to somewhere in the Revolutionary War, they would have knocked these steps down, painted this thing white, and it declared it that they built it for a memorial to some, we'll fill in the blank and write a resume for him later, and we'll just say he was a general. wonder what this is from. From the deep woods of Maine. Turquoise. Hey guys, how's the turquoise hunting? Oh man, I do have the latest thing of flash, so been down that road before. It's the mother lode. Wildcat. Are we not in Maine anymore? Are you from Maine, young man? Huh. Mitsu Picchu. Uh-oh, this could, you but close your eyes. I thought it looked like we were going to one of and Andrew Weiner websites, right? You're that guy? He's like a politician. Why are these pictures off center here? Hey, what's up, dude? Got any drill bits? Think that fire up there's okay, safe. It's good. Good. Gusto de figure. Whatever. Oh, this is our big boy. This must be how come I was on this page. Oh, yeah. I don't want to see that. An illustration of extensive open cut mining to get those fake diamonds so they can keep storing them to drive up the prices. Sometimes, you know, you hit a website that has a picture like that. What I wanted to do was, you know, find out a little bit more about that, you know, where's this from? Oh, I forgot I could do this. I could, sometimes they'll have, if you scroll down, they'll give you pictures that look like it. And then they'll say some that are like it. Oh, here we go. And then what you can do is just pop this baby dust. Bingo bango. Just get a new take on it. It looks like this is the chimney, my ass, from the Ballycorus lead mine. It's not a chimney. That's a abandoned gold mine. Let's see what we got here. Lead's pretty important too. At one time, the second largest city in Colorado was above 11,000 feet. And I live in Colorado, and baby, that's high. Vail's 9,005. And I hate Vail Pass. Hate it with passion. But it was called Leadville. Way up there. Because people love lead, man. They were using it for steam. 1807, sure. They built that in 1807. Remember some of the forts that we've seen on the news and TV and the pictures of what they want us to believe they could do in 1807? That is not the tower. Nope. We're not talking about the same thing here. Very interesting, though. That's looking cool. Come on. I do a lot of looking around at a lot of stuff. made videos on forensic stones. It's not how you make a chimney. Just know how you do it. Wouldn't mind a chimney. That ain't gonna happen. They're dead to me. We got a merry-go-round in there. Did we see that before? There you go. Go worship Mary. Let's go there. I want to check it out. I'm betting we see star forts everywhere, right? You know we will. We'll find them. Doing live research. Where you at? You know we're at a gold mine because at this elevation it should not be already pixelated. Not for Bing, not with what I'm running here. But we'll still find them. See where the roads go. Well, they go there. They go here. This is where the action is, right here. Might not be as pixelated, or it might be more pixelated. Looks like they've got some areas blocked off, but they left a lot open. So you take what they give you. Show me a star fort. I'm not going to call that the remnant of a star fort. These reservoirs are always awesome. Right there. You know the pattern of the houses, right? This part here was at one time the big chapel, temple, whatever they built. You know, you've seen them. They have it kind of outlined where it goes like that. This was the inside. This goes around. We'll see some remnants. There's the moat and the bridge and the foundation that's underneath that they're still using. There has to be more, or we're going to call this a bust. Why are you kicking out like that? Well, one thing that they'll all have, and you'll see, it'll go back to this is somewhat of a mountainous area, but whatever this town is called, well, we haven't looked at this, but you'll see there's water and there's going to be canals, that are everywhere around the world. They're just wherever you go, here to, see how just enough so that everybody can get water. Just the original towns, the ones in Europe like that, they all have water. People starving of water, and then where I live, it's free. It's right by the river, and it's just like the irrigation was already here when we took over the country, and so now they just turn it on in April, turn it off next month, keep the lawn green. Yeah. And this is how they store the water. Still using this one. I've shown a lot in my other past videos, empty reservoirs. Where we got over here, buddy? What do you got? Oh yeah. That's pretty cool, huh? What? That's like from a game. You guys and your games. Good Lord. Man. They didn't dig that. All right. Well, thanks for sticking with me on this research. I was kind of a bust on that, but that's how you do it. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. But that salt mine, there's no way that that was just a couple hundred years old, and then they dug all that out, with a steam shovel, and before that, a picking axe, and then turned it into a Chuck E. Cheese. It's all a lie. I hope the Lord blesses you. I hope you call on his name. The Palantate. Just finding out about them in Germany. Former Celtic region was conquered by the Roman Empire and the Emperor Augustus about 12 BC. Okay, I doubt that though. I do. Let's see where we're going to end up here. We have the electorate at Palantate. Let's see what they were. Well, these were the locations of Palantate. You can see it up here. That's what's magnified. Not much help. Well, we got years here anyway. The early 14th century. And we see a lot of very familiar names of towns. I bet you they made some beer here at the Lowenstein. They did. Let's keep looking. My feeling is, I don't know. These guys might have been up to no good. Whew. 1670. What they like us to believe is that as pilgrims in the United States, we were still yet just having Thanksgiving, getting the lessons from the Indians on how to grow corn, but not in Germany. Nice star fort up there. One big church, two big churches. Not sure what these are. Towers for the defense there of the castle. That's nice. That's nice. Mannheim Palace. That's the work of the Millennium of Christ right there, people. That was nothing to them. They built these all over the world. Yep. And we took them over and said that we used to be able to know how to do it. Oh, we could build these things like they were so easy. We can't do it anymore because we just don't want to show off. There's the back of it. That's their coat of arms. So that's it with these guys. Well, let's see. What looks suspicious to me? Frederick the Fifth. Frederick wearing the crown of the saint. Look at him. Once again, here's that used to be a double-headed eagle. And this was still part of the millennium of Christ, but they had breaking it down. Grand Tartari, when they became lesser Tartari, they had this symbol of the one-headed eagle. This bull, who knows, secret Mithras worship. So these people look like the ones who took over the royalty. They look like the royals. 16th to 17th century. The Heidelberg Castle, looking good. Looking real good. You could build these things, you know. They had a few wars, but they had a long time to take care of their gardens, didn't they? Build churches and things out of stone. Reroute rivers. Build canals everywhere. They just had it going on. You know, we're jealous. I'm jealous of her. I'm jealous of him. Nice. Nice Illuminati. Oh, he's a Calvinist. I'm a Calvinist. See what they say about Calvinists. Calvinist. Yeah. I know a lot of people aren't too happy with them, but until I find out, yeah, let's see. My first impression is look at the architecture. It's definitely what we call the survivor architects. Big here. What I want you to notice is this is not original. This was not a part of their original art. This was added by some Roman Catholics down the road, probably full of symbolism and stuff, but I don't have a feeling that's a part of their original artwork. Let's see where we go here. There's John. History of Calvinism. Calvin preached here. Warning about what? The Pope. People, you know what I want you to believe, and I want you to know as a Protestant, as a Calvinist, I want you, listen, Notre Dame, the great cathedrals, those are not Roman secrets. Rome did not build those. Those were built to glorify our Lord in the golden age of Christ, in the 1,000-year reign of Christ. And that reign just ended. For although Rome had this plan working while this was going on, We don't have the true history of the Reformation. We know we got the Bible out of chains. We forced them to stop speaking in Latin. It only cost about 3 million Presbyterian lives, but hey, you know, when you throw around numbers like trillions today, 3 million at that time didn't mean much when it was people just dying for their faith. You do a search for St. Bartholomew's massacre and you see what the Pope did to the people who didn't want to worship Mary and the other crazy things they were coming up with. They sewed their lips shut so they wouldn't have to listen to him scream because they wanted to use them as human torches as they marched in to their Roman Catholic celebration of evil. Look it up, St. Bartholomew's Massacre. Son of a bitches. Look at this. It says Calvinism has been known at times for its simple, unadorned churches and lifestyle, as depicted in this painting. That looks beautiful to me. It might look simple and plain to some people, but I'd say that's a matter of interpretation. Yeah, that's just a real simple and plain arch right there. Still going up. Yeah. I guess we could have made it a real more flashy with gold and everything else and just put on a show. That would have been good because that's what works. Let's put on a show. Well, why the hell not? Who would not have broken with the Roman Catholic Church? And it says, but different from the Lutherans. The Lutherans broke with the Roman Catholic Church also on the real presence of Christ in the Eucharist. Thank you, Wikipedia, for nothing. Yeah, and it goes on to say theories of worship, use of God, law for believers. Oh, the Armenian controversy. Well, here we go. Let's just keep rolling here. This was it. This is Rome. These are your Anabaptists. These are the people that Rome put out there to stop the truth, to limit your freedom in Christ. Yeah, they had debates centered around soteriology and big disputes about total depravity, predestination, and atonement. Well, I would have to say you guys, Wikipedia nailed it on that because those are the big three. Let me lay it out for you right now. When it says total depravity, it doesn't mean that each person on earth is totally depraved and evil. It doesn't mean that each person is a monster like Satan. It means that the entire creation of God, our domed earth, everything about it has been affected by the fall of bad angels who have been turned into demons, causing the fall of humans. The cultures, nature, people, to different levels are affected by that depravity. Some people give total over to evil and they are reprobate. They are evil. It says that God hates them with a perfect hatred. But some are predestinated. Predestination, election, those who are called, it is the most common theme of the Bible. You can't get away from it. It's everywhere. There have been so many good books written on predestination. Dr. Lorraine Bettner, read it. It's nothing but just here's the verse, there's the quote. What are you going to say? You can't say anything. Atonement. Another one, the last one of these three here that I'm calling the big three. Nice job on scrolling there. The atonement matters greatly. And unless you believe correctly, your eternal salvation is dependent upon it. Because you are either atoned for or you are not atoned for. And according to God, you either correctly atoned for or you may as well not have even tried. Because that's how much the Lord loves the Lord Jesus Christ and the fact that he was the atonement. And he laid it out over a course of 1,000 years, I guess, that it had to be a perfect sacrifice, total innocent. I'm not going to go into it. All Christians say they believe the same thing about Jesus being perfect, and there you go. He was the Lamb of God who takes away sin. Unless you believe that it is a blood sacrifice, my friends, you are pretending. Those who say, Lord, Lord, look at this hospital I built in your name. Look at this miracle I performed in your name. Look at me, Lord. He says, depart from me. I never knew you. Because that leads into the people and how they give their tithes. Some people want to metaphorically blow a trumpet and say, hey, look at me. I built a church, or I built a wing to this hospital, or I donated this, or I gave $1,000 to Kenneth Copeland, plant a seed. And then another person went in there. She was a poor widow. Bible implies she was elderly. She probably knew she had more decades behind her than in front of her. Times like that, when you have the right mind and a decade and a half to go and you know it, you're going to do the right thing with your money. And this lady was giving to God. And he made the point and said, that's what giving is. Not trying to have some slave count your rice to make sure you've given an exact tithe. Are you a moron? Pelagians, Arminians, they brought in the doctrine of free will. They took the what had been summarized as the 5 points of Calvinism and went against each one of them in minor areas that only appeal to the ego of man, like the false delusion of free choice. And I say it's a false illusion because God says that he has the names of everybody in the book of life already. And that when Jesus came on the earth as a theophany. He knew that it was done, it was finished, because before the foundation of the world, the Lord had a plan. And I don't, want to get in too deep with people who are just here because like Starfort's and cool and things like that. And we haven't gotten into deep theology, but infralapsarianism and supralapsarianism, those used to be topics that everybody talked about. Everybody knew that you could go off a stream of thought and be brought there by what's important, because you want to get down to that fine points in your theology, people, your own personal theology. And if you don't know what those words are, your personal theology is shit. And that's a fact. You don't have one. You've been assigned one. And you think that's good enough and you're ready to fight to the death for it? And you don't care if it's Protestant, Catholic, Hindu, or Muslim? As long as that's what your daddy was and your mommy was, you're going to fight to the death for it? Go ahead, click off, because you have nothing in common with me. You don't want to be here because there's nothing that I'm going to say that's going to help you. It's an illusion of false choice, because God, we live in illusion. His ways are not our ways. His ways are higher than our ways and beyond understanding. We live our lives like there's free choice, or you're a moron. If you're eating, some food, or denying yourself some food because of what you've been taught, but you don't even have a personal theology, you're a moron. You need to figure those things out. You have a free choice to eat what you want, say what you want, learn what you want, study what you want. But like the Apostle Paul, and like the people in, say, Corinth that spoke in tongues, there's going to come a point in your life where God's going to knock you off your horse, and your confident theology, because that's what your dads believed, and they seemed pretty smart. I know that's getting rarer and rarer to say nowadays, because everybody knows their dad could be better. Oh my God, and all dads are dumb, especially if you watch the Disney Channel. That's not always the way it was. If you haven't studied, you don't know the canons of Dort or the Confessions of Faith, Westminster. Some other, there's good ones. I don't want to mispronounce their names right now or show off pronouncing a bunch of them. But these are the things that matter, and these are the things that brought me to where I am now. The guy not arguing in Sunday school anymore, that if Joshua said to the sun, be still, God honored it. And the sun stood still. And if I got tired of listening to people explain that away, because God later on said, I made the sun stand still when he was speaking, and the sun stood still. And it was easy because it wasn't moving. Or God put it in motion, he could stop it. It wasn't going to throw gravity into a whirlwind, because there is no gravity. Apples drop when they get ripe from a tree, because they are released from a tree. They are no more a part of the tree. They are denser than the air around it, and it falls. I wish I would have got right into the flat earth movement, but there was not one when people like myself were studying Dr. I think Gerhardus Blau and geocentrism, but we were learning what there was out there, and we were standing up for the Bible, and we took the shit that you guys didn't. And you might have thought that we thought it was fun to be with a group of people that said they believe the Bible, and they said, well, the Bible says this, and I believe it. Well, that's just goofy. I explained to them that nobody believed it before the 16th century, and all the calendars worked. All the Mayan calendars worked 2,000 years in advance, and they work because the math works for a flat Earth, and it always has. And you can go back and look at Tycho Brahe, and even back then, murder, intrigue through the Roman hand. But the math worked, so I believed in geocentrism. And then as time went on and I kept learning, now I believe that the Earth is as flat as it describes in the Bible. And through studying the Middle Ages from the videos on New Earth channel and finding out of what a hoax the whole Middle Ages were, where Rome, according to this guy up here, if you can see my mouse, it's a map of A.T. Flamenco. Well, he's got it going on right now, and he's the head mathematician at Moscow University. He's the chess coach for Bobby Fischer. Bet you heard of him if you follow that kind of thing. He can prove that the Roman Catholic Church added 1,000 years of history and stuck it in what we call the Middle Ages, and claim it was a time when everybody was just bad and sad and couldn't get anything done because they were just holding the people down in slavery, and it just drug out for 1,000 years. And all those rich people living in the castle, they didn't have any incentive to make inventions, develop anything. Things just stayed the same. You fought on a horse with a lance for your fair maiden, and all of the peasants and serfs fought for the hardy wenches down at the bar because they probably only got paid in beer. That's what we know about the Middle Ages, right? That was all bullshit. Big time propaganda. I just didn't know how bad and how insidious they were. All right, I'm going to go back up here to the top of this page, and I wonder how I turn off this recording because I need to take a break. Here we go. Let's see.
If you did like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. If you haven't subscribed, hit the red subscribe button. Also click on the little bell icon to get notifications of my flat earth videos, which I upload every day.